this holiday, they did
I checked the box on the top just to see if there was any in there. There was like 3 things of creamer, and that was it.
Damn it. Is Nate there?
Over there. I can ask. What do you want to ask him?
Let's just start the show. I'll check our question.
Because our quality standards are the highest in the industry, we're able to guarantee your ring free this year and every year after the real year. Now, if you have a friend in the jewelry business, same company, Sanko.com, open weekdays 9 till 9, Saturday 10 till 8, and Sunday 11 till 5. The holidays are here, and so is the bill for the holiday sales event at O'Brien Ford. It's the most wonderful time of the year to buy. Right now, save up to $5,500 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Escape, or up to $6,500 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford. Save big this holiday season at O'Brien Ford.
Oh no, we need sugar. We need sugar, Brian.
This is Bernie, and you're listening to 93.9 The Bill live in the OPC Services Studio.
That's his game. They don't get back. Hayward's with now look at the steal. Here's the steal. 3-on-1. Alley-oop. Oh my goodness. Marcus Maven. And you certainly are in love with him here in Louisville. Marcus in the open floor. Hops incredible. Here comes Maven off the steal. Oh my goodness.
Get up, get up, get up, get up. Let's get ready for Marcus Maven. You're about midway.
What's up, dude?
They with Marcus
Me?
Maven.
Oh, the music?
You can call in. I lay back and
Should be the same.
Marcus Maven. So sit back and relax and watch Maven.
Break it down like this.
Woo!
Broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services studio
Maybe.
for mid
You're moving slower.
on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maven and Steve Rummage.
Ooh, welcome back. Welcome back. It's middays with Marcus Maven. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. And people, we made it to another game day. We've been going along, but I feel the anxiousness. I can feel the anxiety in the air with what looms in the near future. But we're going to stay here in the present. Steve Rummage in Tennessee, Brian Hall in the booth.
We need a bounce back. That is true. That's a great way you just put it. It is very much a little bit of anxious in the air. I don't know if it has to do with we must have a bounce back tonight, or if it's something looming on the other side of that. But we're going to get to all that today. I have a few things as well. One thing is a Christmas question that I want to get out today.
Oh, good call on that one, too.
Yeah, I want to throw that out there. So that's going to be good. And we're going to cover a lot of things. And you know what? I'm kind of reaching the age where when we do these live streams, I look and I see myself and I'm like, I'm getting a lot of gray in my facial hair.
Now, see, why would you go there, Steve? You know what I was going to say? I was going to say, Steve, you have really good lighting over there going on. See, I was going to compliment, the way you're coming up on the camera, and then here you are just doing the well,
here's the thing. I'm in our guest room, right? Our guest room has, I call them captive windows, like where it's like cornered. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a window on each side there, so it's like overlooking. So it's like the whole side of there is just all window. It's incredible. It's an incredible view. So that's why the lighting is so good. But when I lock myself in this room, I to our people on the YouTube, and I think I figured out a fix, but I can't do it today. The echo in off the walls is a little tougher in
right.
here.
The acoustics.
the acoustics, but I think I figured it out. I'm buying a pair of headphones for when I'm down here, and I'm going to start to plug that into the iPad so that way the sound will start coming through the headphones, and then I'll have the headphones down on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you'll bear with us today and the next day or so, by next week or the next time I'm down here, I don't know if it'll be next week, I'll have this fixed. So we
AKA
appreciate everybody.
Steve's not in the bathroom right now.
No, yeah, I don't know if it comes across like that on the radio, but it definitely does on the YouTube. So we're getting it taken care of, and we appreciate everybody that tunes in.
Okay, well, let me do this. Let me get right to the phone lines. It was an early call. I mean, this must be somebody as excited as we are. Ryan, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maven. Fire away. Ryan, you there?
Sounds jacked.
Try again.
Yep, we got you.
Okay. I got one of them old man's phones. We call it a flip. One of them kind you fold up, whatever. I met you all at Coach Crumb's the last time they had a thing out there for Coach Crum, a scholarship program.
Yes.
I am a Kentucky fan. The old guy with white hair come up and met you and Steve.
At the potato soup luncheon.
Yep.
Yeah, so I told you I would call y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Here's my story. My folks moved from Nelson County when I was a kid, so I listened to Louisville, Kentucky on the radio. My brothers would go downstairs and listen to Kaywood Ledford. That's how I become a Kentucky fan. But I know the history of both schools. Both schools have had a winning program since the 1940s. And Coach Hickman don't get, they don't talk about him much, but he's really the one that put Louisville on the map, come out of Valley High School.
Yeah.
And I go all the way back to Wade Houston and Cotton Nash. I remember the Texas Western game, Kentucky, like yesterday.
Wow.
I got a lot of facts.
Wonder where this is going.
I told you I would call you, but I think Louisville will be okay when they get some of their players back. They've had like 4 or 5 players back. And this game, I don't know. Kentucky, I don't know what to tell you, man. They just they lost all their players. They're having all kind of trouble up there. And I am a big Kentucky fan. I'm also an SEC fan, Steve. I know a lot about Tennessee basketball, football, and I'm a big Bellarmine fan, Coach Davenport. I call his show quite a bit, man. He's like, me and him, he's a Louisville fan. I'm a Kentucky fan. I used to talk to Lachlan McLean. He would take calls on 84, and we never had a crossword. We didn't agree with each other, but I like Locke. A lot of Kentucky fans don't like him. And Andy Sweeney's got a great show. I just wish the man would take some phone calls, because I'm an old man. I don't know how to text. I don't know nothing about social media, but I learned all my stuff when I was a kid. Started listening to Louisville, Kentucky on the radio when I was 8. We didn't have cell phones, computers back then. We learned everything on TV and the radio and the paper. But I'm a big sports fan, and I'm not one of them Louisville haters. I can't say I root for them, but I don't hate them. I got a son and daughter, both like them. So I was raised in Louisville, but thanks for taking my calls, guys.
Ryan,
thank you, Ryan.
We appreciate the call.
Okay, multiple things. First off, let me just explain to people. People know that I really dislike Kentucky, and people know that I would usually run somebody that a first caller, Kentucky fan. Most of the time I'd be very snarky.
Right.
But let me be clear. There is something about the OGs, man, that you got. Look, there's a respect I have for the OGs in the world, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter if they rooted for Kentucky, Louisville, whatever, it's like, man, look, y'all have lived through a lot. You've saw a lot. And look, I will never run like that. The other thing is, it was ironic. He thought Andy's show was good. I'll just throw that out there. Kentucky guy. But I think Andy's show's good too. But yeah. So yeah, no. Look, I think it's funny when it gets to this week, because it's something we'll talk about today. Louisville fans I've talked to, do you know, this is such an odd week for the rivalry, because it's like it doesn't feel like the hype is there per se, but I've also had to remind people, almost every Louisville fan I've talked to over the last, somebody stopped me in the store yesterday. And look, I mean, my Windstream guy, was listens to the show. I appreciated that, everything. And then, but somebody stopped me in the store yesterday, and they was like, hey, Roman, what do you think about the game? And I'm like, I'm like, well, I mean, they're 5-1, and and I kind of knew what I was doing. And he was like, no, 1-5, and I'm like, oh, I thought you were talking about Pitt. He was like, "Oh yeah. We do play Pitt, don't we?" I'm like, "Yeah, like y'all know we got an ACC game tonight. Like it's a big deal."
Okay, so is the fan base are they looking forward to tonight's game to see what it looks like with Carleek back? Is the fan base is it just nervous energy on both sides? So both sides don't want to really like get into the back and forth. Like what would you say the vibe was? And hold that thought, because I got to get back to the phone lines really quick. Plumber Chuck, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
What's going on, guys? Merry Christmas, happy holidays. If I don't get to talk to you before Friday,
Same to you.
Same to you, man.
I'm excited because this is my first year being a dad. Second, Steve. I'm kind of excited about this game tonight. I want to see how we do against them and everybody, playing together. Hopefully it's better than the last one. I do agree that we do need this game before UK on Saturday. Quick question for you two. I know you're going to discuss it later. Steve, what do you think about NBA team here in Louisville? I think we would support it very well. And I'll hang up and listen. I'll talk to y'all later.
Well, first off, Chuck, congratulations. He slipped that in there.
You're right.
It's his first Christmas being a dad.
Bang.
And that is always look, having kids, and that's something I want to talk to you about before I go later, because I got some things to do later. But having kids kind of reinvigorated Christmas for me.
Mm-hmm.
So like Christmas, it was like a resurgence,
Right.
So anyways, but yeah, I mean, listen, I think a lot of people are like that. With just as far as tonight's going to go a long way. And Marcus, you can agree or disagree with me on this. I don't know, but tonight's going to go a long way, I think, with how people feel. If Louisville comes back tonight and bounces back off that loss, you get Carleek back. I mean, I don't know if Josh is going to play or Charles is going to play. I mean, I saw them in the video, but I don't know. Now I will say, whoever doesn't play tonight doesn't play Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not adding a bunch of people on Saturday. Like, okay, so
Coach Rummage is not having it.
Yeah. So you either play tonight or you don't play at all this week.
That's like the NFL Wednesday practice.
Yes, it's like, look, if you can't practice today, you're out. But I mean, and I'm interested to hear your opinion on this, but I do think tonight's going to go a long way. I mean, now there's some people, we talked about it yesterday, but there's some people out there you're just not going to convince. They're just gonna look. They're going to suck the life out of you this week with. Don't get your hopes up. We're gonna get bait. They're so much better than us. It's like, okay, all right. This must just suck. Like, so. Anyways,
do you know how draining that has to be to make me actually punch a microphone in the middle of a show?
Listen, I totally get it. But hey, that's your prerogative.
By the way, your reaction to that was so funny too. When I went back and looked at the video, like yes. you were the most. Listen, for me to punch something as hard as I did within 3 feet of your face, and for you to just laugh about it and not even, you looked up at me because you knew something was coming, didn't you?
Yes, I was like, uh-oh. So, but I will say, part of my reaction yesterday was that I knew. Behind the scenes here, you were genuinely pissed off. So I was like, okay, this isn't the time to be snarky. This isn't this isn't the time to feed into this. I was like, I saw that cold chill go down your body, and I was like, oh, he's legitimately like, this is legitimate anger right here. So.
Right. Listen, I had to actually explain to somebody, like, where negative speak ranks on my hierarchy of pet peeves. Like, I don't tolerate it.
Yeah, but okay, but how about this? but back to my question with you. If Louisville comes out tonight, they win the game, they look, I don't know what's impressive to you.
Mhm.
Impressive to me is going to Pitt and winning. So
Right.
I don't know that word but that's what I'm talking about. I mean, to me, you go up there, get a win tonight, I'm happy. So if they do, I mean, do you think that kind of changes the attitude over the?
First of all, I'll say this: you're telling a lie, but you're not doing it on purpose.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
yeah, because the 1-point game stinker in Pittsburgh, you're gonna say we're gonna get boat raced.
Sure. That's fair.
Immediately following the game, you're not gonna be happy. There's
Mhm.
nothing that is going to excite you. And I know you don't do it personally, Steve, but if you 30 burger Pittsburgh, you might find a way to let that creep, the doubt creep, like, is this the real team?
We play too good. We play too good.
Right.
Yeah.
So listen, after the game, nothing is going to make you happy. During the game, if you see rebound domination, then you're going to be excited. The only thing that's going to excite you is a bunch of screaming, a bunch of give me that, on the microphones.
Sure.
If you see wild looking aggressive rebounds, which means Coach Mack got a message across to these guys that if you don't absolutely dominate the inside of the against this Pittsburgh team, your season is going to go bad. That's where this team is going to have to be. That's the only thing that might make you feel good coming out of this game as a fan base, as an analyst yourself. Domination on the boards.
Yeah, fair enough.
But the rest of the stuff, like good shooting, you're going to say, okay, I don't want to rely on good 3-point shooting. Then you're going to go to
okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to say don't stab me on this because I know it's game day with Pitt, but I mean, you say rebounding because, and I'm asking Louisville fans, and I can't see the text line right now, so I'll trust you. But the text line is rebounding your biggest worry for Saturday, because I think the boards is all that really scares me on Saturday. I'm like, if you limit Kentucky on the boards, you win this game probably convincingly. But if you let them, and they do rebound well, so if you let them get second chance points, and then it's going to be a close game or you're going to lose.
Yeah, and the reason I think that is because smart fan bases saw, listen, that shooting thing that Wisconsin did, you're not going to see that often. You're not going to see that level of discipline to work to get the best shot from a lot of teams. Some teams can shoot your lights out, but the big worry was seeing our guys get muscled underneath the basket, not know how to draw, any fouls underneath the basket, not knowing how to finish, not finishing through contact, your ownership of the paint, guys getting in the lane and getting kickouts. That's the thing you saw in the Wisconsin game that you said, okay, this is the glaring, this is the Achilles heel for this team being good, bad, or I guess blah. Alex, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Hey, Marcus, Steve. Listen, I had to call in because you hit it immediately on the head. So, watching Chris Mack, he's been our coach the last 3 years. We've had to learn as a fan base, like when to get excited. Like the shot clock is going down, the team is passing the ball, well, the other team is passing the ball around the perimeter, and and then they shoot a shot and they miss. It's like, yes, it's exactly what the pack line is supposed to do. You're supposed to make bad shots in it. So I've learned how to get excited about that. Now, what was awful about the Wisconsin game is that was happening, but they were hitting like these crazy threes. But another thing that you get that to me, as I'm learning to cheer for a team being coached by Chris Mack, is rebounding. When you see somebody fight off a screen or fight off someone, how point guards like to run in like right at the last minute and jump up. When you see your team doing that, grabbing rebounds, holding a defense into the shot clock, holding the offense deep into the shot clock and then missing a shot. Those are the things that I get excited about because I know that those are Chris Mack principles that he is trying to nail into these guys' heads.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I'm looking forward to because that Wisconsin game was not a Chris Mack team. Like the team was sluggish. The team they just looked tired. And it could have been because they haven't played and haven't practiced and all that. But I really want to see them grab rebounds and hold a team deep into the shot, hold the offense deep into the shot clock, and then have them to take bad shots in this. Like that. That is what will have me thinking. All right, okay, they're ready. They're ready to take on this Kentucky team. Because I'll be honest, if we lose to Pitt, I really do think we'll beat Kentucky. Because I've watched every Kentucky game and they're so trash. Like they are so not good, and it would just be awful. I'm not gonna lie, there's been years where I've been depressed that we lost to Kentucky. But this will hit me hard because I really think Kentucky's trash. I'll just be honest. I do not think Kentucky is good at all this year. And Mac, if you can't go in on a super down year and beat this team, then it's like, dang man, like I don't have no words for you, Coach. For real, I still love you, but I don't have no words for you. But thank you guys. I'll listen.
Listen, Alex, I appreciate that call. he's just in there. He feels like they're trash.
No, they're not good. I mean, I think we all agree with that. But
I got one more. Let me clear this out real quick. Birdhead.
Oh, yeah.
Birdhead Ryan, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
What's up, guys? I've got a quick question. It's really geared more for Marcus as a former player than Steve, but I do want to hear your opinion on this, Steve, and then I'll jump off. How will the fact that Capel not coaching on the sidelines affect Pittsburgh? Will it affect them in a positive way, negative way? Not being a college athlete myself, I wasn't anywhere near that. I would think that it would negatively affect them, and it could play into our hands. But I want to hear from you what your thoughts are on that, and I will jump off, guys. Take care and go Cards.
Appreciate the call. Listen, first of all, we have to establish a new rule. If it's a football question, don't target Steve and leave me out of it. If it's a basketball question, don't target me and leave Steve out of it. Steve knows his basketball. But listen, you don't have to say that. Steve will naturally defer to me if it's a basketball question. And if it's a football question, I'll naturally say, I'll let Steve run. Run.
I like that, Ryan. Ryan was like, hey. But he was like, he wanted to hear my opinion. No, I appreciate that, man.
But here's the thing. That scares the daylights out of me without the coach over there. Scares the absolute daylights out of me. Can you imagine Coach Crum? Like, we're on the road, right? And Coach Crum has an obligation. So let's say Coach Davenport is the coach today, right? And Coach Davenport says, "Hey y'all, we're gonna open up with Marquette." Now, and I mean the play Marquette. Now, if Coach which is the alley-oop play for all Cardinal fans, like most people know that. Imagine if Coach Davenport comes in and says, "Y'all know what, y'all? Screw the high post today. We're going all motion." Motion opens up with an alley-oop screen look on every play, either an alley-oop or a three-pointer coming in perfect rhythm, right? So imagine the assistant coach saying, "Hey y'all, I'm gonna let y'all play today," because that coach, it's like if you had a Kenny Payne on your sideline or something, and Cal is going all crazy, and he's doing this quote unquote coaching thing, and Kenny Payne says, "Don't listen to anything he just said. You go out there and you do your thing." You know how you go out there with a different kind of energy because he just backed you up?
Yeah.
That scares the daylights out of me. That little Capel, because he's like good cop, or whichever assistant coach takes the lead on this one. good cop coach that's going to be able to be the leader for this game is going to tell those guys, now everything I've been telling you, go out there and do. So the level of freedom they're going to play with. Like, now here's the thing. If it comes down to a close game, it doesn't benefit them to not have an experienced, under pressure, clutch coach on the sideline. So if they need a bucket, with 30 seconds to go, I like the fact that it's an assistant or somebody else on that sideline.
Yeah.
But the energy for coach is not going to be here. Let's just go wild out, because we know we got nothing to lose. We know our assistant coach, good cop coach, is going to be letting us do all the things that head coach never lets us do. So everybody's going for broke. That scares the daylights out of me.
Well, that's why they defer to you, because I'm like, Coach Chris, you best not come off a 40-point loss and lose to a team without their head coach. I really might want to figure this one out, bro. That's all I'm saying. Because if you lose to a team without their head coach coming off a 40-point loss, we aren't going to be happy. I'll just put it that way.
Speaking of head coaches, Steve, I know you're going to have an abbreviated show. So this is what I'm going to do. We have to have a conversation, Steve, about a coach, about a coach up the road. Now, I know this is early, and I'm not committing to the rivalry talk, but for this next segment, Steve, I'm going there. I'm going
Let's do it.
all the way there. Quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maven on 93.9 The Ville.
Have you been in a car wreck? Insurance companies can be really tough to deal with on your own. I'm Sam Aguiar, and our team is here to help. We have been fortunate enough to represent thousands of people from Kentucky communities, and we would love to speak with you about your potential case. Our team loves what we do. The consultation for you is free, and we don't charge you anything unless we win the case for you. So come be a part of our team. Our phone number is easy, 502-888-8888. 502-888-8888.
Pay off your holiday bills with a new job at UPS. Join Team Louisville as a warehouse worker and earn $14.50 per hour to start. You could also graduate debt-free. Be part of an industry-leading organization that believes in promoting from within. Enjoy an active job with big-time growth opportunities. Search and apply now at upsjobs.com/worldport. That's upsjobs.com/worldport.
Mark Ennis here, telling you about my friends at Bosch Lawn Care. For the past few years, I've trusted Bosch Lawn Care with my yard maintenance at my house. That's mowing, weed eating, trimming bushes, cleaning mulch installation, and much more. Get yourself out of hours of work in the yard when you could be kicking back and enjoying time with your family and friends. Call 833-2GET-CUT. That's 833-243-8288, or visit them online at BoschLawnCare.com. Trust the lawn experts I trust. They're professional, affordable. Bosch Lawn Care.
Now that turning on the heat in your home is a common event, if you're not sure your heating system is ready for the winter months ahead, it may be time to call who we call at the station DFH Company. Heating and cooling has been their family business since 1935. This month from DFH, you can get 18 months special financing on qualified Trane comfort systems from the DFH Company. It's hard to start up a Trane, and it's hard to not call DFH Company today at 968-6222, or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Subject to credit approval.
Genesis Diamonds is making your last-minute shopping easy. Now through Thursday at 3 p.m. Get that unforgettable holiday gift and take advantage of our strongest financing offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest with absolutely no money down. And don't stress. Our non-commissioned experts are here to help you select the perfect gift. Whether your budget is $300 or $300,000. That engagement ring, eternity, or anniversary band you've been thinking about is only $100 a month. A diamond bracelet or bangle for only $50 a month. Even diamond hoops and studs for just $30 a month. And all with no money down. We've got the selection of over 50 stores, thousands of engagement ring styles by the best bridal designers in the world. Eternity bands, stylish wedding bands, fashion-forward layering necklaces, beautiful sapphire and emerald jewelry, and Swiss timepieces. Let's end 2020 on a truly magical note. Invest in that special memory they'll have for life. With confidence, no money down, and 0% interest for 5 whole years. Merry Christmas from Genesis Diamond, Shelbyville Road Plaza. Open till 3 p.m. on Christmas Eve. Unapproved credit.
Hey, Card Nation, let's be honest. The real estate market in Kentucky is booming. And whether you want to buy or sell a home, now is the perfect time to do it. With interest rates at an all-time low and programs that can get you in a home for no money down. Want to learn more? It's simple. Just call Derek A. Stewart with Dream JP Pirtle. Derek is available virtually around the clock to listen, understand, and help you with all your realtor needs. So don't waste another second. Call Derek A. Stewart at 502-314-9868 today.
Many people have figured out over the last few months what a great thing it is to have a home gym. And many of our listeners have figured out what most of our staff already knew around here, and that's that Fitness Market is the place to turn to when you're starting or adding to your home gym. Right now, Fitness Market is loaded up on strength equipment, dumbbells, kettlebells, squat racks, power racks. Fitness Market has tripled the amount of inventory they normally have, and you can see it all in their newly expanded showroom on the corner of Plantside Drive and Waterson Trail. They have all the great brands like Hoist, Spirit, Body Solid, you name it. The highest quality equipment is at Fitness Market. I love the Precord treadmill I've had for a couple of years from there, and the adjustable dumbbells have proven to be invaluable over the last few months. So head on over to Fitness Market now. They have two locations, Westport Road inside the Snyder and Plantside Drive and Waterson Trail, where they have their newly expanded showroom. Or check them out online at thefitnessmarket.com. This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
The baby down and woke up to my wife coming in at 2:00.
It is. She was at the club. so listen.
You didn't even work today.
Right. Okay. So this is how it goes, Steve. Yesterday, Brian, Steve, do you have that tweet accessible that has the coach's quote about the game being moved?
I do, unless Brian wants to read it, but I have
Go
it
ahead,
here.
Steve, if you got it.
Okay. All right, cool. Calipari, apparently he did his show last night, his coach's show. Calipari says ESPN moved their game from ESPN2 to ESPN so that people can see the Cats, quote, go to the executioner, unquote, quote, we ain't having it, end quote.
People, this fight never ends for me. This conversation goes down to, what narrative are you going to buy? Are you done buying it? And this is a shout out to all of my nothing to see here when Cal does something. This goes out to my but it just doesn't, nothing matters, we're going to lose. This goes out to everybody, because I want to tell you, this is why you think the way you think. Because you are biting the simplest pump fakes in basketball coaching history coming from this guy, right? And here we have one of the best exhibits for the most obvious ruse you ever seen in your life. Brian, do you remember? I don't remember which order it was when Coach Mack made that famous video calling out Coach Calipari. It may have been about the fourth or fifth thing that he pointed out after the scheduling date changes and all that Notre Dame.
ESPN trying to change games.
Coach Mack said, never mind the fact that they went to ESPN without our knowledge and without our approval and tried to get one of our ACC games moved. And you remember how excited I was because he put his name on that?
Yeah.
So, and listen, you didn't get a response from that, which means you knew it was true, right? And I was so excited about having that ear in the building, right? And then I see this quote and I say, if somebody has the juice to go try to get an ACC game moved without Louisville's permission or knowledge, do you think ESPN would move a 1-5 Kentucky Wildcats team from ESPN2 to ESPN1 without Cal approval? No. Let me tell you, people, it's coming apart at the seams. And as a Louisville fan inside the rivalry, I am loving every minute of it. And you guys aren't enjoying this show. Rome was not built in a day. It didn't fall in a night. But if you could sit on the mountain and you hated Rome and you could watch it crumble piece by piece, I would sit up and eat an orange and watch the show if I were you. Because Cam Fletcher made it. Listen, nice little, not big red Cam Fletcher 4-star suspended. Cam Fletcher needs to take a little time out. But here's the thing. He used that to address the entire team. All these people need to get their acts together. Everybody needs to do this. Did you hear Ryan call this morning and say, we're losing people everywhere? See, here's the thing. When you keep that part of it quiet, then little fans just, everything's bad with us and everything goes good with them. No, it's coming apart at the seams. And this is Coach Calipari's last move, last ditch effort. Imagine being Bryce Hopkins right now watching this. And make no mistake about it. At Kentucky, you're not allowed to listen. Everybody knows if you got to come back for a second year, your probability of getting drafted goes from like, especially first round, goes from like 90% to 38% that you're getting drafted in the first. Everybody knows that one. You remember how mad they got at Wayne Gabriel for telling a recruit, hey man, it's not really all it's cracked up to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about it. Okay, so you got all those things. Imagine being Bryce Hopkins right now. You decommitted from Louisville. You committed to Kentucky. You think he's not texting Cam Fletcher and those 5 stars right now? You think they're not Instagram DMing right now? And those kids aren't venting to Bryce Hopkins right now? Like, dude, watch out. BJ Boston. Hold on. BJ Boston is from where, Steve?
He played at Sierra Canyon.
Sierra Canyon. That's all I need.
I don't know if he's from California.
I know, but you get the point. He's telling people he's going public with their lack of commitment to basketball in that locker room. This is a fact. He went public with that. You think he's not telling the number one recruiting hotbed right now of Sierra Canyon what's going on here right now? This is epic proportion meltdown moment. When we're talking about these daggers that you can put in, it can send a shockwave, the Kenny Payne effect. I'm watching it all and I'm like, don't y'all see all of this? Like the machine is about to explode. Watch it. And y'all are not going to let Cal get away with sending Keon Brooks out to do a press conference in a game where you just lost 3 straight against the ACC and 4 straight games
See, the thing is I know you're going the recruiting route with this conversation, but the Cam Fletcher thing, it was very convenient at the timing for Calipari. It always seems like there is a built-in excuse for him. You know, it's always my team is too young. Oh, they're still gelling. Oh, now I have a player who's suspended and we got this going on. It's always like there's always a convenient excuse.
Oh no, he needs
when a losing streak is going on.
He needs them major, Steve. Okay, I got to ask you, Steve.
Okay.
With all the evidence and facts I presented to you, which case is the best? That you know he moved that game because he saw that Wisconsin game and he said, we got to get that one on ESPN. He thinks that Wisconsin team, that his players are going to truck, and he needs this win more than anything on the planet. I made a joke, Steve. The best thing in the world for the Louisville fan right now would be if the game got canceled and you put Coach Mack in a position to not make it up and say, we're getting ready to start ACC play. Listen, we might find a date, and watch Cal harass Mack for the next 3 months. Because that's the only thing that's going to get this fan base who is frothing at the mouth. They're foaming at the mouth. And this Louisville game is the only thing you say. Even if Kentucky won at 12 o'clock on a Saturday on ESPN2, nobody sees that. You know, it just looks like everybody in Kentucky sees it, you know, because we're locked in. But the rest of the world, it's not really like Kentucky's 1-5. So it doesn't make a big deal. But he needs the players to see it. He needs his recruits to see it. So he sees the Wisconsin game. He makes that call. Hey, y'all got to get this move to ESPN. I can get them. I can get my name back. I can get my respect back. I can get all this stuff back. He got that game move, see.
Well, let me give you, I'm not going to disagree, but let me give you an alternate perspective. Cal, in my opinion, let me read you another quote. Calipari tells fans not to feed, quote, the trolls amid a 1-5 start. Quote, anyone who we have been beating their brains in for 11 years, don't listen to it, end quote. Calipari's leading that team to the gallows with this ESPN move. That's my opinion. Calipari put out there yesterday, hey, you guys know, like, I've been beating Louisville for 11 years, right? I mean, so he's putting that team out there and he's saying sink or swim. But I think he knows I don't like this team. They're not very good. I don't really care for their attitude. I don't really care for anything they're doing. And he knows, because watch when this happens. If Louisville wins that game, you watch how quick he turns this on those kids. How quick he turns into, because look, he's already kind of did it. When's the last time you heard him come out and publicly scrutinize a player the way he did Fletcher? I mean, he was like, look, Fletcher's got bad attitude. And I'm telling him he's got to go. I think Calipari is saying, look, let's get it out there. I don't think they're going to win. But if they do, then cool, whatever. I mean, you know, hey, if they do, look, Kentucky fans will forgive them for 1-5 just like that. They come out here and beat Louisville. They'll be the happiest 2-5 fan base you'll see in America. And I think Calipari is saying, look, go out there if Louisville beats them, watch how quick he says, well, you know, I don't think these kids care about the rivalry the way some of my other teams have, or says something along those lines. And this fan base, and look, and that's why I say, you want an executioner? Well, why don't you give him one on Saturday? Take those nails and drive them right into that coffin.
His chips are all in. Oh, but I guess we're saying the same thing though. He's going chips all in on this one.
Yeah.
Pulling out every stop, every stunt. And you don't even who even makes reference to trolls? Like Hall of Fame coaches Do not bring up rivalry troll. You don't have to remind people that you've been playing good unless you're feeling it, unless you're feeling some kind of way. You know, like when you're in trouble, you say, "Oh, remember I've been doing this." Remember I saw it happen in Detroit this year. You want to know what, like, okay, Detroit Lions did not have a good season, and
we're gonna talk some Patricia
and the coach. Yeah, listen, and the coach was not having. You know, the fan base was arguing about, does he deserve a third year and all that stuff. You want to know when the tide really turned against him? He got into a press conference, and this is what he said. A lot of people didn't realize how crucial this was going to be, this moment. He did a press conference and he said, well, I mean, because he got questioned about his team and his coaching ability and whatever. He said, well, I'm only responsible for one of the greatest defensive play calls in history. You know what he was referencing?
Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl interception on the goal line play, Russell Wilson.
Malcolm Butler.
Yep. He took credit for that and tried to remind people that that was my play call, right? The fan base went crazy when they heard that. Like, are you kidding me? That was 10 years ago. That was a bang, bang play. That was Malcolm Butler, and that was a horrible play call. And then people started digging in the background and said, and then you went and hired their offensive coach and made him your coordinator. Are you crazy? But you see how just something like that just wakes up a fan base, and it's like, are you crazy?
Your claim to fame's from another team 10 years ago.
Yeah, right. And then that's when the fan base says, that Anthony Davis was 10 years ago. We got one championship.
Yeah.
Out of all this. Are you crazy?
There was. Oh, sorry.
Go
ahead. Well, here's what I say to Calipari, though, on this one, and what I say to Coach Mack, because I do think that he is wanting to be put down on this one. And there was a poet. There was a poet from Memphis, Tennessee, who back in the day, Marcus, he said, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. So Coach Mack, don't save him. He don't want to be saved on this one. Yeah. Go drive that nail in the coffin and end that season on Saturday on ESPN with Jay Billis on the call, with the world watching on Saturday. Go in there and put them down. That's what I want to see. I want to see you go in there and put them down, because if you beat them and they're 1-6, one win over Morehead State, their season is over. And by all means, remember, he's not exactly bringing in the top 3 players again next year.
Well, speaking of that, Steve, Louisville wins. Bryce Hopkins decommits. Do you take him back?
Listen, that's funny. That's funny. But you know, the other thing I wanted to get to, that's hilarious. Yes, I would. But
Brian Hall, do you take Bryce Hopkins right back?
Of course, yeah. Come on back.
Y'all are just waiting to be used, people. Like, where's your backbone? Yeah. Where's your pride, Steve?
Well, here's the other thing. Have you noticed the amount of Kentucky bloggers and stuff that I've seen out there? And listen, and you, James, I like James, but I've heard him do it too. Have you noticed how quickly Kentucky fans have tried to pull Louisville into their cesspool? I mean, how many times, as a Louisville fan, how many times over the last 24 hours have you heard, well, I mean, basketball just isn't good in this state right now between Louisville and Kentucky? Bro, Louisville's 4-1. Okay.
What's Western's record?
6-2.
Yeah, like, okay, yeah, like, no, like, you know, Seton Hall and Western could be tournament teams. Like, stop acting like we're equals at this very moment. Like, I mean, I keep seeing that, like, well, both teams are just terrible. No, your team's terrible. Louisville played a game against the top 12 team, coming off of 90% of their team having COVID and being out. Like, no, your team's terrible. Stop pulling Louisville into this cesspool of hell that this third level of hell that you guys have found yourself in. We ain't equals right now, bro. Like, this isn't a equal partnership here. Like, no, we're 4-1 getting top 25 votes. You're 1-5, and people literally want to stab themselves watching your team play. You're 1-5 with players crying on the sidelines. You're 1-5 with players leaving. You're 1-5 sending guys out to a press conference who haven't played all year.
All year.
Yeah, like we're not equals here. Okay. Louisville and Western may be closer to equals, and Louisville beat them by 20. Okay. So like let's remember that. So as I keep scrolling down and I keep seeing like Kentucky fans like finding some sort of solace in like, well, at least we're both bad. No, you're bad
right now. At least
look. Can you imagine if Kentucky right now was missing Olivier Sarr, Isaiah Jackson, and give me Dante Allen? I'll say Dante Allen. He was a 4-star. Josh Nickelberry was a 4-star. We'll do that. Do you know what the Kentucky fans would be saying right now?
If they were missing, say those names again.
Olivier Sarr.
That's Malik Williams.
Yeah. If they were missing Isaiah Jackson, say Charles Minlin.
Okay.
And they play different positions, but I mean, Isaiah Jackson was a 4-star kid coming in, so it wasn't like he was a top 5 player. And we're missing Dante Allen.
But wait, let's make Isaiah Jackson. Oh, you're not even going to the 4th one, the Carlik Jones.
No. I'm because Carlik Jones is playing. I'm not. This isn't Wisconsin specific. This is season specific. Imagine they were missing those 3 guys and we're 1-5. Right now, there wouldn't be a media person on the planet that would say one godforsaken word about Kentucky without going, well, they're missing Sarr, they're missing Jackson, they're missing Allen. They'll be fine. They're 1-5, but that's the only reason they're 1-5. Yeah, that's what every single one of them would be saying. In the meantime, Louisville's 4-1, getting votes in the top 25, and they're missing Malik Williams, Charles Minlin, Josh Nickelberry, who haven't even played a second. May I add, Malik Williams, who has dominated Olivier Sarr, okay, over a 3.5-year period. Sarr last year, for the first time, scored in double digits against Louisville. Malik Williams had done that 3 times against Sarr, playing half the minutes. Okay, that people would be losing their mind to back up Kentucky. That's what Louisville's missing right now. And Louisville's 4-1, okay? 4-1, getting top 25 votes. So stop comparing the two like Louisville and Kentucky are in some sort of suck battle here.
Steve, anything else you want to throw in before you get out of here?
No. I got post game tonight.
Tune in for the post game.
Just win.
Catch Steve Rimmons. Just win, baby. Well, appreciate it. You get out of here, man. You enjoy your Christmas shopping and you enjoy that beautiful Tennessee weather.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I will.
Brandon Lang. When Matthew McConaughey plays you in a movie, as he did me in 2005's 2 for the Money, you have to maintain a certain image. That's hard to do when you're going bald. I needed to do something, and it needed to be done fast. Parsley Waldman's Hair Center came to the rescue. Louisville and the Midwest Premier Hair Treatment Center not only gave me my hair back, but my self-confidence as well. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out how you can start your journey back to a full head of hair today. I can tell you firsthand, from the minute you walk in the door to the time you leave, you are treated as if you were in a 5-star hotel. And now that it's been a year since my surgery, I look back at pictures from a couple years ago. I don't even look like the same person. The procedure was an amazing success, and it has totally reframed my face. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out not only how affordable it is, but how you can get your hair back today. Visit hairsurgery.com. That's hairsurgery.com. And tell them Brandon Lang sent you.
Hey guys, it's Andy Sweeney here. When it was time to expand our offices and studios at ESPN Louisville, guys, the choice was easy. Realm Construction. Find them online today, realmconstruction.com. They're family owned and have been serving the Louisville area now for 60 years. Owners Rich Banks and Bill Receiver could not have been easier to work with. Their knowledge, professionalism, and attention to detail were absolutely top-notch. Bottom line, Realm Construction did everything they said they would do and more. Realm Construction specializes in commercial general contracting. You've probably seen their work at 4th Street Live, as well as many healthcare facilities around the area. For their full portfolio, visit realmconstruction.com. We trusted Realm Construction for our expansion, and you should too. For your next project, use Realm Construction. Online at realmconstruction.com or give them a call, 581-9191.
Now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold craft, tap, can, or bottled beer? 4 pegs. And the best part about 4 pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville. Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. The Sports Center update brought to you by Which Wich. Try the ESPN Louisville special, a large witch for only $6.80. Which Wich, superior sandwiches. As the University of Louisville basketball team looks to bounce back tonight against Pittsburgh, head coach Chris Mack talked with the media yesterday about the return of Carlik Jones.
It slides David over a little bit. It generates easier shots for everybody. It allows to have more experience on the floor with that voice.
That game is set to tip off at 7 o'clock tonight. So be sure to catch all our pregame coverage leading you all the way up to game time and immediately following the game for the postgame show. Also in basketball news, Saturday's UK U of L game has been moved to 1 o'clock. And also announced yesterday, the Bellarmine Knights are heading to South Bend tomorrow to take on Notre Dame. Moving on to football news, Louisville safety Isaiah Hayes has declared for the NFL draft and will not return to college for his 6th season. And last but certainly not least, just a reminder that ESPN Louisville's your exclusive home for the NFL this season, as we carried last night's Monday Night Football action between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers, where the Bengals defeated the Steelers 27-17. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is Sports Center.
Did you wake up this morning and realize Christmas is this Friday and you've only done half your shopping? Don't worry, Shane Company's got your back. We're open until 9 today. Come in and we'll help you find gifts that are a sure win. Fine jewelry in every price range. Easy, curated holiday gifts wrapped with a burgundy bow and ready to give. We have classic necklaces, earrings, bracelets, and rings made with natural diamonds, rubies, and sapphires in over a dozen colors. On-trend styles you won't find anywhere else. All guaranteed for life. Your gifts will be ready to slip under the tree and really light up the room Christmas morning. It's not too late. We're open until 9 today, so come in and see us. Happy holidays from our family to yours. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Now that turning on the heat in your home is a common event, if you're not sure your heating system is ready for the winter months ahead, it may be time to call who we call at the station, DFH Company. Heating and cooling has been their family business since 1935. This month from DFH, you can get 18 months special financing on qualified Trane comfort systems from the DFH Company. It's hard to start up a Trane, and it's hard to not call DFH Company today at 968-6222, or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions. Subject to credit approval.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player Award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial pound law on your cell phone. That's pound 529, offices Louisville.
Hey, it's Steve Rummage. Louisville basketball looks to bounce back tonight as the Cards take on Pittsburgh. And for the most pre- and post-game coverage, keep it locked on ESPN Louisville. Join Marcus Maben for the Louisville basketball pregame show at 6 p.m. on 93.9 The Ville. And immediately after the game, be sure to join me for the official U of L Health postgame show around 9 o'clock. We're the first place in town that will take your calls and hear live from Coach Chris Mack. If it's Louisville basketball, we talk about it here on ESPN Louisville.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
I don't know. There's a lot of. I mean, I always like when we can, talk bad about a University of Kentucky basketball team. It's always good. I mean, to be honest, I think a lot of Louisville fans have had the same thoughts of Calipari, and they are all coming together this season. So I think people like to talk about that.
Okay, I have to revisit this question because I want to know if we are surrounded by a bunch of liars. I have to know this, and I'm going to ask you this question again. Now, on Sunday morning, we're still glowing, right? Just live in this world with me. We're glowing on Sunday morning because we've been watching the burning, the machine,
the poo storm that's down the street.
Yes, we've been watching it, laughing all night long. Our throats are hoarse, right? We slightly have a bit of a hangover on Sunday morning, right? We're just trying to hold it together, right? We still got a little bit of a hangover, headache. Your cheeks. You ever have so much fun that your cheeks are sore the next day because you've just been laughing,
smiling too much?
Yeah, you've been smiling, laughing too much. So all this is going on. You got all this soreness across your body and all this good stuff, right? And then you wake up and you read on Twitter that recruit Bryce Hopkins has decommitted from the University of Kentucky. Brian, I need you to take a deep breath and be honest. Do you take Bryce Hopkins back?
I mean,
texters 38 31 93.9. Callers 8150 93.9. I'm curious to know what people really think about that one.
Well, here's the thing. I think if I'm Coach Mack, I take him back because there's a lot going on right now. Get it? He would instantly be our top recruit for that recruiting class. It's another slap in the face to Kentucky to say, oh, he jumped over to you all, and then he jumped back to us. But I also understand the standpoint that if Mac doesn't take him, I get where he's coming from.
You wouldn't be mad at Coach Mack for not taking him.
Yeah, I think Bryce Hopkins is one of those, it's a bonus now if we get him. If we don't, I understand. Even if we hear that Coach Mack didn't go after him at all after he decommitted, I still understand his standpoint. I mean, it's there's a lot of things that go on in recruiting behind the scenes, and when you get a commitment from somebody, and I know everybody likes to joke around now that a verbal commitment's as good as any, who knows, next week they'll be gone, until they sign on that dotted line. I don't trust it, but it could have been a slap in the face to a guy like Mac. He could have been like, hey, I've been recruiting you for 6 months, and then Kentucky comes in here and in 1 week you decommit and go to them, like, and no, you can't come back. Like, you know, and if he's okay with, or if he says that, I'll understand. But from my standpoint, as a fan, not knowing what happened behind the scenes, for sure, I would totally take Bryce Hopkins back. To be honest, half the Louisville fans that go to games probably don't even follow recruiting and don't even know who Bryce Hopkins is until he puts on a uniform for one team or the other. So I understand recruiting is one of those things that wavers. He's a 17-year-old kid. He's between decisions. But let me ask you another thing, like kind of along those same lines. If this guy's wavering this much, you know, he commits to Louisville, then he commits to Kentucky, then he decommits, and then he's thinking about coming back to Louisville. Do you really want a guy that's going to be like, you know, so uncommittal?
Ask me the question that I asked you.
Okay, Marcus, if we're riding a high, you know, cheeks are hurting
Yeah,
on
right.
Sunday.
Right, fast forward.
And
Right.
so if Bryce Hopkins decommits from Kentucky and, you know, is considering Louisville, would you take him?
If you beat Kentucky, no.
Okay.
I cannot believe I'm saying this. This is probably the stupidest answer that I've ever given you, Brian. And I've given you some pretty dumb answers. I'll admit to that. But Brian, if you lay the wood to Coach Cal and the Kentucky Wildcats in this game this year, like any other year, hands down, take them. Listen, it wouldn't matter the exact situation, right? Any other year, player decommits from Louisville, commits to Kentucky, you know what I'm saying, and commits back. Any other year, I would say absolutely. But this year, with no Kenny Payne on that sideline, with no traditional structure, this is the one year that I would. And listen, this is one thing y'all. Everyone knows I don't single out the kids, you know, whenever possible. I mean, we got to talk sports. This is a sports show, but I don't single out kids like their personality. Like I really try to leave that out of things, right?
Real quick, are you saying that as a slap in the face to Hopkins because hey, you were with the better program and left, and now that we won, we don't need, or what are you saying there?
That's exactly what I was answering, Brian. What I'm saying is this year specific, like I said, the Kentucky floundering situation, the Kenny Payne situation, me watching it come apart at the seams. I don't do it against Bryce. I do it for our fan base, and I want Kentucky to know that guy tried to come back.
I don't care about you, Bryce. I'm doing it for the greater good.
Listen, I would sacrifice that baby in a heartbeat. This year, I would say, listen, I would pull him to the side and say, Bryce, this is not personal. What I'm going to do, my answer to not invite you back has nothing to do with your talent at all. Listen, in a perfect world, I would change your name and I would bring you to my school in a heartbeat. This year, they're coming apart at the seams, bro. And this thing is the war. It's not the battle on this one. I would get on there and I would say, yeah, we kind of regretted the fact that, that we're not bringing Bryce Hopkins back. And here's the thing. You let Kentucky fan base know that. You let your fan base know, because that puts backbone behind we want our kind of guys in here. I am not afraid to put Mike James up against anybody. Like I don't mind finding four-star early and getting them to the 5-star finish line and bringing them, you know what I'm saying? Even if they do get plucked, I would do that for the greater good of the war.
I get that standpoint, but here's another standpoint. So the narrative between a lot of Louisville fans is, okay, Calipari's starting to lose it on the recruiting trail, and if he can't get the players, he's not an X's and O's coach.
Right.
Like he can't win without out talenting other people. And so that narrative started to kind of creep in the last year or two because other schools have been kind of, recruiting classes have been finishing higher than Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And would it be, and here's the thing, while when he first got there, Cal was getting all the top recruits. We know that. And
Texters, we do realize the signing, like we're talking in a hypothetical situation here.
Yeah. And so like my thing is, when you look at the past since he's been there, I can't tell you. I mean, I can count on, like, it'd take two hands to count how many guys Louisville was after that Kentucky ended up getting. Now
with smoke around them.
Yes, no, I agree. But you can go Marcus Teague, you can go Anthony Davis, you can go Bryce Hopkins, you can keep.
Remember when Marcus Teague's score jumped up like Derrick Rose all of a sudden?
Yeah,
his academics just changed
pretty much. But when you think about Louisville, I can't honestly. I was sitting here and trying to think about it, and I was like, when was the last time that Louisville stole a recruit from Kentucky? And I was like, I can't remember. I can remember where we both had offered somebody, but maybe was a strong lean towards Louisville. I can't really remember a guy leaning towards Kentucky or committing to Kentucky and then coming to Louisville.
But here's the thing. You remember when Cal went after Aiden? You remember that, right?
That's right. It was at the very end.
Yeah, and listen, and you remember how kid gloves he was about doing it because he wanted
he was going to get him.
Yeah, no, listen, he cannot lose a recruiting battle to Louisville. So keep that in mind when you ask that question, because Cal has to make sure that you are not going to lose this guy to Louisville. However, so like the reason you don't have those kind of stories is because he's known that he can't afford to let that happen. So he's doing things outside of the actual thing.
Yeah, well, because I remember, bringing up the Aiden Agahan. Aiden was Cal got in late on him, but I think Cal was harder after him than he gave the impression. And it was because he didn't want Kentucky to think that he was trying his hardest to get him and not get him. So he made it sound like, oh, we'll kind of take him if he wants, but we're not really that interested.
Right. Listen, that's the ruse I've been telling you about. When you get, like I said, when you get a 4-star reclass, and I know I'm kind of revisiting this one, when you get a 4-star reclass and you put him on ESPN, think about that, Brian. Since we were discussing ESPN last second swaps, think about it. You cleared way for Devin Askew to be on ESPN to announce, and he was your Louisville flip guy.
I don't know if to be honest, I don't even know if Cal really wanted Devin Askew. I think he just wanted to take him from Louisville.
But he put it on ESPN. And like, how did that happen?
It was funny. I was with a Kentucky fan this week, and he was like, man, he's like, thanks for Devin Askew. He was like, honestly, I'd rather him be on your team right now.
No,
and he goes, I feel like he's going to be the person that loses the game for us.
Again, I'm not harsh on the individual kid, but I just point out that moves like that, you're not, don't tell me that ESPN just tried to stick it to you. Like, they put your reclass junior 6'2". There are 170 million 6'2" point guard, 6'3", whatever.
Cal's always been about the show.
No,
it's all part of the show.
Right.
And to be honest, the point that you're making is that sometimes he probably makes recruiting decisions just to slap Louisville in the face. And what I'm saying is maybe we should do the same with Bryce Hopkins if he did become available. Hey, here's the slap back.
Listen, I think the ultimate slap would be not to take him back. Dawn, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Marcus. I know y'all are speaking in, dreamland right now, but I'm actually a U of L alum and a fan as well. So I remember going to games when you played at Freedom Hall and really enjoyed those games. But, with any fan base, I don't think any of our players, coaches, or fans should be doing any trash talking to the University of Kentucky. Because here's what I'm saying, Marcus. That is like Michigan fans trash talking to Ohio State football fans. So until we beat them on it. Just let's split the series with them.
Okay. Wait. Listen to what you're saying, Don. You're saying if you beat them, you just said split the series, Don. If you're losing 10-3, you're saying you can't talk trash until you win three straight games against Kentucky, and this is Coach Mack's third year here. Like what? How can you live in that world where you can't talk trash unless you even the series?
Let's beat them one time and talk trash. I'll bend on that statement a little bit, but until we beat them. I mean, the bottom line is, and I'm not a big Cal guy. I think some of the stuff he says, we all know who he is. But, he's 11-2 against the University of Louisville. So, I mean, he can talk all he wants, and he can do all these little games he plays. But until we shut him up, I just have a hard time.
You think he's going to shut up if he loses 2 straight? Do you think?
I don't know. I can care less if he does. But I'm talking on the U of L side of the fence.
Listen,
we've got to beat.
Don, I appreciate the call. That's a you problem. That's a you problem on that one. Like I said, when you say even the series, that means you're destined to be miserable. Just forever. Like, no, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, Don, or anything like that. But I just don't live in the world where if you want me to wear, like, okay, some guy beat up my dad, 10 years ago, and you're saying I can't talk trash because my dad. Coach Mack didn't lose 11 games against Coach Cal. This is the first year Coach Mack has even got his own recruits here, where he got a group of tough guys, his style guys. This is his first year of his own players. And you're holding him accountable to Calipari's overall record against Louisville? You know what Kentucky's record against Louisville would be if in the 80s and the 70s and it took them until what year to get the dream game? They dodged Louisville for years. Your record would be a whole lot different.
I'm going to preface this by saying only caught bits and pieces of Don's call because I was on the phone with Cody, who's about to jump on here. But I think the point of your argument that you were starting at the top of this hour is that it's trending towards going downhill.
Yes.
And that you're looking towards the future in the sense that, okay, his recruiting is being affected because he's got these big name recruits coming from these big name high schools, and these big name recruits are not happy. And so they're going to be letting everybody at their high school know that they're not happy. So this is going to affect his recruiting going forward. You're talking about Kenny Payne being his leading recruiter since he's been at Kentucky, and now he's with the New York Knicks. And so you're looking at you're looking at a downward trend. So what you're saying is, yeah, this is the first year that he's really struggled since he kind of built his base, but it's the start of what could be a couple consecutive years of a slowly trending downfall.
It's 100% the start of the fall. And I am going to talk about it. I'm going to enjoy it. Don, I am not going to wait until we win 3 games in a row against Kentucky to call him out. If I wasn't on this radio calling out the stuff he was doing right now, nobody would be talking about it. If that's the case, you're never going to have the ability to talk trash in sports, period. My goodness. Let me get to the phone lines. Fire away, Cody.
What's going on, man? The one thing I want to ask you is about our backup center position, because Aiden Gahan disappointed me so bad in that last game. Do you think with Coach Mack's comments about Gabe, do you think he could be one of the first big guys to come off the bench, maybe starting tonight and maybe during the Kentucky game, unless Aiden just does something right now? Because I think if he's gonna get minutes, he's got to start playing pretty good right about now. So I just want to get your thoughts on that, man. It just seems like that's the one thing that we're a little confused on, is that backup big guy spot. And I'm just going to hang up and listen, man.
Cody, I appreciate the call. Let me tell you what happened to me, Cody. I won't give a date to protect the guilty and the innocent. Brian, an ex-girl reached out to me. An ex-girlfriend. Right?
Recently?
Brian, I'm not giving dates and times.
Is this a good reach out or a bad reach out?
A ex-girlfriend reached out to me. Listen, we had a good relationship. We had a mutual breakup, right? ex-girl asked me, are you dating somebody?
So she's interested.
I said, I actually am.
Oh.
Ex-girl says, who? I say, you already know who, right? Ex-girl could recognize a threat when she saw one, right? Aiden knows that Gabe is a threat. Aiden knows that he's done around here.
He's like, how loyal are you?
Coach loves Gabe. He could see the way Coach Mack looked into Gabe Wisnitzer's eyeballs and said, yeah, that's yours. That's your type. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Gabe was brought in to do the same thing that Abe's doing.
Listen.
Or Aiden.
And right. and to Gaden.
Yeah, I just mixed them both.
Listen. Ex-girlfriend said no. I said, yep. Because here's the thing. Ex-girlfriend knew I wasn't interested in the girl, but she knew that girl could be a threat. You know what I'm saying? That just she rolled in the same circle as me.
I know what you're saying. Like she knew the girl, and you said, "Oh, you know who?" And then when she said, "Oh, you know who?" Oh, I don't have a chance anymore.
And that, don't forget about that part. But that was the best comparison that I could come up with for Cody's answer. Will, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maben. Fire away.
Oh man, here we go. Okay. Oh man, okay. You get my respect because you wore the uniform. Okay, but I'm a little fan. But look, dude, until we win, let's not talk smack. Because
wait a minute. You're joking, right?
Are you gonna hang up on me?
No. Tell me you're joking. Like, are you being serious?
I'm trying.
No, because if you're
can I have an opinion? I mean,
you know what? Go ahead, fire away.
Okay. I mean, we need to win, right? Am I like?
Yeah. Yes.
Am I barking up the wrong tree?
No. Yes, we need to win. I'm listening.
Okay. That's the first thing. Okay. Right now, you know what they're doing? They're sitting around listening to us, the boys down the road. And let me tell you what. I don't care what day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, they're going to come out to play. The question is, are we going to come out to play? Now, based on experience, Marcus, you wouldn't say we're going to win this game based on the past. I'm just saying, why are we talking smack when?
Let me ask you this, Will.
Okay.
What do you compete at the most? What sport or what video game? Anything? What do you compete at the most?
Dodging COVID right now.
Yeah,
but anyway.
That's a good point. No, give me something. Like, is there any kind of game you play? Competitive. It could be anything.
I'm talking to her. Well, back in the day now, me and you no. Let's say tennis.
Okay. Now, if you were going to play an opponent and you heard your opponent constantly saying, "Oh, I just can't handle his forehand, it has no spin. I just can't handle his forehand." Aren't you going to be 10 times more confident with your forehand against that opponent if you heard him for a month straight saying, "Yeah, I mean, I can't figure him out, and his forehand is just awesome, and I'm never going to be able to stop his forehand." You would go out in that court and you would let loose on that forehand, right? Confidently.
Yeah, but the problem, Marcus, is we never seem to get up. Like Mac, I want to see Mac. I want to see him say, "I don't care what happens. You're going to beat this team." I see us as lackadaisical. I just see every year we come out, "Oh, there's the big blue." We're like little girls. We ready to crawl to the corner and cry. And they just come out no matter what season they have.
Will, I appreciate the call. No, they were crying on the sideline last game. They were crying. Will, this is a different team. This is a different coach. This is a coach with his first time with his tough guy players, his only recruits. Will, I appreciate the call, but that's going nowhere.
I'm with you, Marcus. You got to take advantage of them, kick them when they're down. But at the same time, I think what he's trying to say is I think his argument is more towards Mac, and it's look, John Calipari knows that when beating Louisville is something that has to be done when you're at Kentucky, and I think what the previous caller is saying is he's not sure Mac has that mentality yet.
Yeah. Go look at his do your research on Mac. Do your research on rivals. Pitino lost a lot to Kentucky. Mac was in overtime with a shot to win at the buzzer in Rupp Arena just last year.
Well, I don't think anybody ever questioned Denny Crum or Rick Pitino and their wanting to beat Kentucky. Like, but especially Pitino in the sense, that makes a lot of sense. And I think that some fans just have to realize that Mac's going to be the same way. He's getting into that mentality. It's just, I think fans aren't sure because they're like, oh, well, he wasn't attached to the rivalry. And I'm like, dude, he was in the Cincinnati Xavier rivalry. He understands rivalry. He knows how it works.
That's Cincinnati Xavier were like real fights. We're like back alley fights. That's how physical, they were doing. I mean, dude, if I heard somebody saying Marcus he's just gonna keep on beating me, so I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna say anything to Marcus because listen to that. I ain't gonna say nothing because then he's gonna get mad and he's gonna.
Here's the thing: if you don't think Mac understands the rivalry, go rewatch his video talking about scheduling. Go watch some of his press conferences
between him and
Mick
Cronin.
Cronin.
Yeah,
I mean, he understands what he's doing. I think that was the standpoint of the caller, though. I think that's what the caller was trying to say indirectly.
Brian, do I have to take this this call up top? Let's see how this one goes. The rematch. Take two. Joel, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maven. Fire away.
My man. Man, you had me feeling bad yesterday. Afterward, to get out in the hallway, I was like, my man. My boy.
Likewise. Listen, likewise, I felt bad later on in the afternoon, Joel. So, yeah, you've been here far too long for me to run you that fast.
Day one, man. Day one. But, hey, Marcus, just to piggyback off the last few callers, which to me seemed like UK guys, but I could be wrong there. But I think what you're doing is you're missing the perfect point to come back with these guys talking trash. And I'll tell you why. Dude, do you know how many times Louisville had 4 or 5 win streaks in football over Kentucky? Do you know Lamar Jackson, who worked UK for 3 games, even though he didn't fumble, he would have been 3-0. But literally look at the stats when Lamar Jackson played UK. And every time we had those 4 or 5 win streaks against them in football and Lamar Jackson, they talked smack like they were undefeated against us in football. So I don't want to hear like, oh, whatever Cal's record, it doesn't matter. You think UK football fans didn't talk smack all the time when we would beat them year after year, get a Heisman? So people calling in saying, "No, you can't talk smack until you win 3." Bogus, ridiculous. UK football fans talk smack for years. That's your point.
Joe,
stand on that.
Listen, I appreciate that call. That is actually a great point. Yeah, they went to we play in the SEC move, and I'm glad our energy between me and Joe is back to where it should be.
No, we knew Joel. Joel's a regular, and he listens every day down from Jacksonville, Florida. So we appreciate that. And to be honest, maybe you taught him his lesson because he turned his tone today. So maybe he's good.
No,
he's good to go.
We're just meeting in the middle. Brian, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
What's up, Marcus? I was starting to question these fan base. I mean, what's going on? Do they know who they're talking to?
I know. I that's what I'm saying. Like what you're listening to.
It's like you put on a uniform. You know what competing is. You don't care if you're down 40. You're going to talk trash. You know what I mean?
Listen,
and as far as,
I would not let these fans anywhere near my players if I heard the way they talk. About we're just going to lose anyway.
Joe's right. I hope those guys were Kentucky fans, to be honest with you, because they're starting to depress me. Like if you played any sport, you know what competing is like. So trash talking is just part of it. I don't care if you're up 40, down 40, up 2 touchdowns, down 2 touchdowns. You talk trash. And I don't care if you're down 9 in the series. You talk trash.
Fact, Brian, and I appreciate the call, Brian. Here's the thing. when you talk, you add on. Talking is the pile on. It's the things are going bad. I start talking, they start going worse for you. It's demoralizing. And the setup trash talking, I really love it because it's the I told you so trash talk. It's the I told you Kenny Payne. It's the I told you Rome was coming to a crashing halt. It's all that good stuff jumbled into a big ball of fun. But people who are scared to talk, like Ryan, scared to talk trash, he actually said this, y'all. Tie the series. Now I know he backtracked, but he spoke. Look, what's the quote that Steve used? Out of thine heart, speak out of thy mouth, speaking thine heart. You said tie the series first. What are you gonna do with the next 10 years of your life? Even if you were gonna tie the series up, you're never gonna be able to talk trash. You must just be a person that doesn't believe talking trash should be even a part of the game. Like I mean, I don't know what do you just oh my goodness. Oh well, I think I messed that one up. Well, Brian's got somebody right now. Just don't trash talk Alabama.
Ethan Moore.
On line 2? On 2 or 1?
No, he's on 1.
Okay, let me get up to that. Ethan Moore, welcome to 93.9 or back to 93.9. What's on your mind, my man?
Hey, Marcus, man, this is a great topic, very passionate. I'm driving. I'm enjoying the debate and the topic at hand. Like some other callers have said, you obviously wearing the jersey, having the illustrious career that you had. Your opinion has more weight than virtually anybody else's. I'll just throw my 2 cents in here, if I may.
Indeed.
I think the difference is, I agree with you about from the player perspective of talking trash. And I know you won't like this, but I'm of the mindset, and you probably have seen if you follow my diatribes on Twitter here
yes.
lately. But I'm not in a stretch of me personally talking any trash since we've been dominated. Now, I'm not going to go as far as other guys say we got to tie the series because that's never going to happen. Just get a win. If they get a win Saturday and, troll away, I will run my mouth till the cows come home. But I can't, there's nothing that we can say right now. Of course, you can troll them for being 1-5, but then if the trends continue and somehow they get a win, I mean, how is this program going to live this loss down? That's why, me personally, I'm not talking trash.
But here's what I have to say. Actually, it's to hold on, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so if you don't think Kentucky is still going to talk trash if you win this game?
I mean, they're fans or
they're fans.
That's fine because then you can throw the scoreboard at them. And then that's why, all right, whatever, you're 1-6, 0-4 against the ACC, and say we win 75-70, 75-70, 1-6, say something else. Then you have that, you have that ammunition ready to fire back at them. But if we were to lose again, it's just like, what could we say? What could we say without sounding silly?
Do you hold the Rick Pitino losses against Mac, or do you just lump it all into program?
It's all in a program. And what you were saying about Mac is accurate. I mean, he technically, by the record book, he's 0-2. I thought he coached a great game last year.
No, look, no, say it, Ethan. He outcoached Cal last year. Please admit that.
I think from a schematic standpoint, absolutely. But what the program and why I'm so critical of the program when it comes to this game is, Marcus, we just invent ways to lose. 9 of 20 from the foul line, 45%. The last time we shot that worse last season, it was 65%. Nowhere close to shooting that poorly from the foul line. And that's why it's so frustrating for me. We invent new ways to lose to them. I'm so ready. Just get a win. That's what I want for Christmas. Give me a win. I don't care if they're 1-6. I don't care if it's a buzzer beater. I don't care if we win by a half a point. Just get a win.
Ethan, man, I appreciate you jumping in, man. Stay safe out there.
Man.
For sure. Ethan's in pain.
He's like, one at a time. Let's just take this one.
But no, that's my point.
Yeah.
One at a time. I'm a one at a time guy. They're different teams every year. It's not. And here's the thing. I just spent the first hour or I spent the second hour of the show explaining to you all the tricks that Cal has gotten away with the ESPN stuff and the Vitalis. I've explained all the smoke and the shadiness that Coach Cal has gotten away with. The vacated games at Memphis, all this stuff. We would have to acknowledge that all of his previous advantages are getting out the door. Would you admit, Brian, that he's had a lot of Nike advantages, a lot of worldwide advantages, a lot of Kenny Payne advantages, a lot of suspect stuff that happened in Memphis that he's willing to do?
All his advantages are going away.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm not talking about program versus program.
Yeah. I've been listening to you, Marcus. Pretty much over the last hour, I heard that the University of Kentucky's turned into a football school.
Listen, but again, if you watch if you start to watch it crumbling, that's when you start talking.
Hey, UK fans, you're all in a bowl at least. You can go celebrate your bowl, but you're 1-5 basketball. You can't talk trash right now.
Listen, man, I know there's a player aspect of me, but even if I'm a fan, I'm watching it.
Kentucky, the football school. I like it.
That's far away from that. JC, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Marcus, what's going on, man?
Feeling good.
This is Cody's brother, JT. I wanted to say real quick, man, during halftime and stuff back in the day, man, I used to have the number 5 jersey. Of course, it didn't have your name on the back, but I knew who it was. I would dunk on my Nerf basketball going in my bedroom at halftime, acting like I was you, man. And then when you move back to Louisville, I walked past the hotel room, and there you are sitting there, and I was the weirdo that was like, "Are you Marcus Mason?" And it was cool, man, because me and my dad got to sit there and talk with you for about an hour and a half and tell stories. And at the time, for me, that was like the most amazing thing that had ever happened. I couldn't believe it. And I feel really blessed to have your show to listen to every morning, man. It's a great program. But real quick, I just wanted to say, I think Don jumped in here and messed up the whole vibe this morning, man. Because, I'm sitting here listening. I'm having a good morning, getting me a little bite to eat, working. And Don just jumps in with this, he sounds sad for some reason, man. Like I want to give him a pat on the back or a hug or something and tell him it's all going to be okay. Look, I don't care about any of these callers saying that they can't talk trash. I live in a Louisville family, and Louisville, it feels like my family, and I ride for my family every day, no matter what. They can't do any wrong to me in my eyes. So at the end of the day, man, I'm talking trash 24/7, 365 to anybody that wants to smoke with the trash talking. And I don't care. If we lose, I'm still talking trash. It doesn't matter, because I'm a real deal Louisville fan. So I'm sick and tired of all these people talking this negativity into existence. Like, put some positivity out there. We got to be positive, man.
Listen, JT, I appreciate that call. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't let these people near my student athletes if that's the kind of energy y'all going to carry around with the doomsday gloom. I understand points. I just can't live in that world. We'll take our last commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville.
Genesis Diamonds is making your last-minute shopping easy. Now through Thursday at 3 p.m. Get that unforgettable holiday gift and take advantage of our strongest financing offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest with absolutely no money down. And don't stress. Our non-commissioned experts are here to help you select the perfect gift. Whether your budget is $300 or $300,000, that engagement ring, eternity, or anniversary band you've been thinking about is only $100 a month. A diamond bracelet or bangle for only $50 a month. Even diamond hoops and studs for just $30 a month. And all with no money down. We've got the selection of over 50 stores, thousands of engagement ring styles by the best bridal designers in the world, eternity bands, stylish wedding bands, fashion-forward layering necklaces, beautiful sapphire and emerald jewelry, and Swiss timepieces. Let's end 2020 on a truly magical note. Invest in that special memory they'll have for life. With confidence, no money down, and 0% interest for 5 whole years. Merry Christmas from Genesis Diamond, Shelbyville Road Plaza. Open till 3 p.m. on Christmas Eve. Approved credit.
When you are buying or selling a home, you have a ton of questions that need to be answered. Well, what if I could answer those questions with 3 simple words? Call Josh Jarbo. Josh specializes in residential real estate, getting buyers the home of their dreams and sellers top dollar for their home with the best negotiating skills in the industry. And if you tell him you heard about him right here, you'll receive up to a $5,000 seller's credit. So contact Josh Jarbo today at 502-216-7590 or joshjarbo@remax.net.
'Twas the holiday season, and many families felt glee, for they shopped at Kroger, where pickup was free. Green beans and apples, a salad so merry, sweet onions and Brussels, and cakes topped with cherries. Whipped mashed potatoes and warm spiral ham take center stage for a feast with the fam. May the magic of fresh food never be done. Happy holidays from Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
If the two of you got through 2020 together, you can get through anything. This holiday, make it official with a stunning engagement ring from Shane Company. Create your unique ring in 3 easy steps. Simply pick a setting, choose a natural diamond, ruby, or sapphire center stone. Then add your own touch, like a decorative crown or a personal engraving. Here's another option. Select one of our perfectly preset engagement rings. Each of these rings is already set with the shape and size center stone that our designers envision, which means that your ring will be perfect. Because our quality standards are the highest in the industry, we're able to guarantee your ring for free for life. This year and every year after, we'll be here for you. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com. Open weekdays 9 till 9, Saturday 10 till 8, and Sunday 11 to 5.
If you thought you saw the last of the double cheeseburger pizza from Papa John's, think again, because it's back again. And now they're debuting the sequel as a papadilla, a quarter pound of beef, zesty burger sauce, and pickles on crispy flatbread crust. Again, one more time. Get a large double cheeseburger pizza for just $12, or a new double cheeseburger papadilla for $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Again. Not valid with discounts, fees, and taxes. Extra prices may vary.
U of L Health's expertise is now at more hospitals, medical centers, and physician practices, along with Brown Cancer Center and Fraser Rehab, making the impossible possible. That's the power of you. To learn more, visit uoflhealth.org.
'Twas the holiday season, and many families felt glee, for they shopped at Kroger, where pickup was free. Green beans and apples, a salad so merry, sweet onions and Brussels, and cakes topped with cherries. Whipped mashed potatoes and warm spiral ham take center stage for a feast with the fam. May the magic of fresh food never be done. Happy holidays from Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
Visit Shane Company for gifts of fine jewelry in every price range, wrapped with a burgundy bow and ready to give. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the most outstanding player award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial #LAW on your cell phone. That's #529, offices Louisville.
Hey everyone, I'm Brandon Lang. When Matthew McConaughey plays you in a movie, as he did me in 2005's 2 for the Money, you have to maintain a certain image. That's hard to do when you're going bald. I needed to do something, and it needed to be done fast. Parsley Waldman's Hair Center came to the rescue. Louisville and the Midwest Premier Hair Treatment Center not only gave me my hair back, but my self-confidence as well. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out how you can start your journey back to a full head of hair today. I can tell you firsthand. From the minute you walk in the door to the time you leave, you are treated as if you were in a 5-star hotel. And now that it's been a year since my surgery, I look back at pictures from a couple years ago. I don't even look like the same person. The procedure was an amazing success, and it has totally reframed my face. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out not only how affordable it is, but how you can get your hair back today. Visit hairsurgery.com. That's hairsurgery.com, and tell them Brandon Lang sent you.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maven. 8150 93.9 is the number. 939 is the station. People, temperature control is one of the most valuable resources one could have. If you agree, then DFH Company is the company for you. Simply dial 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Inquire about their Mitsubishi mini split for that hard to heat, hard to cool room in your home. Again, 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. I feel like I said that twice, but that's neither here nor there. I have to have a conversation with you people right now. Very important conversation. So you can understand the psyche and you can get out of this rut. What I'm going to say is what I think and what I see. Now, we talk about this UK thing and we talk, we talk about, all the program things, right? So Ethan Moore said program. When we say program, just basketball program or university, here's the thing. I believe that the University of Louisville as a program, as a university, as an industry is better than the University of Kentucky. Let's start right there. Marcus, how can you say that? How can you say they're better than the University of Kentucky? First of all, when I look at the resources the University of Kentucky has, when I see them complain about tournament seating in basketball, and then their athletic director is on the tournament selection committee the next year, I know what having a state, I know what advantages are when you can steal a Kentucky Mr. Basketball from state championship winning David Johnson and give it to a guy who played 6 games. Those are advantages. And I've seen it for years and years. I can see Coach Davenport and all the people in the Louisville districts get cheated out of state tournament berths and have to go up to Lexington and get cheated. All these are advantages, people. And that's just macro university. It happens in football. It happens in basketball. So you literally have the ability to intimidate athletes out of going to your rival school. Athletic directors, finance, NCAA looking the other way with investigations. I posted a picture of Julius Randle sitting courtside with Worldwide West as a recruit, as a Kentucky recruit, sitting courtside, not at a Kentucky game, at an NBA Finals Laker game, and not one peep of investigation. I've watched I watched my athletic director get double audit. I've watched a board at U of L be illegally shuffled and divided. I've watched all these things happen. And to have my program with the same number of basketball championships as yours is why I believe that I'm a better program. And I think with your resources or with you not getting away with what you're getting away with, we would be smoking you. I watch my women's teams smoke you. I watch my baseball team smoke you. I watch my soccer team smoke you. I watch my women's volleyball team smoke you. I watch our school be leading the nation in academics. I've watched my program be leading with our resources to be up there in the wins category, in the finance category. My fan base my fan base has survived some hellacious, scandals. I've watched it all. That's why I say, I don't care if you have an army of 100,000, my 300, I'll put up against your 100,000.
We're Sparta.
That's what I'm saying. Who? Listen, I literally look and listen. This is why I talk. This is why I say, no, you might have won this, but with those advantages, how do you only have the same number of championships as me? So listen, Brian, if I climb Mount Everest with 2 hammers and a pair of gloves, and you have a mechanical, a pulley, and you beat me up there, but you barely beat me up there, but we both get to Mount Everest, Who's the monster?
Yeah.
I am the monster. You had tools, you had thermal warm gear, you had somebody to catch you. You had a guy mapping out your path. You had somebody in a helicopter flew up there to make sure you knew which day to go for. You have every advantage. So when I say, no, I'm better than you as a program, look at my entire program. Look at my growth. Look at my campus. Look, I got a Heisman Trophy winner. You don't got nothing.
I agree with you. And I don't think you were sitting here saying that. I mean, we all know that the 1-5 is not typical for Kentucky basketball, but I think what we're saying is that, and we're not saying that they're going to come out and be 1-5 next year. What we're saying is that it's starting to trend back to his advantages are being taken away, and the reality of who Coach Cal is and what he's capable of doing as an individual, as just him,
right,
is starting to show. And we're not sitting here saying that they're never gonna make the tournament again.
Yeah, right.
We're saying, this is a reality check. Now you're back to your average top 25 team. You're gonna have you're gonna have a top 10 year. Then you're gonna have a year where you finish outside the top 25. Then you're gonna finish 20th.
All those super advantages that make me identify. This is why I think my team's better. You think that is smack talk, unwarranted smack talk. It's not. You know what you have to go through in basketball. You know what you have to go through to get things approved. You know what battles you have to fight. I think it's better. So when you say, well, you just sound ridiculous if you're talking smack, after you've lost in the basketball route. No, it's everything combined to one. I think the program here is just better. Like I said, my 300 soldiers are better than your bully army. Listen,
you had a parachute as you were coming down out of the plane, and it just got a little rip in the parachute. And now you're kind of free falling a little more out of control.
And what I'm telling y'all is true. Like, you see, listen, honestly, Kentucky fan, you can look me in the eyes right now and we can be friends if you just admit to my face that this Kenny Payne thing is a big time problem. And you tell me that your worldwide and Kenny Payne connection has been the backbone of your Kentucky program, recruiting, developing, attitude wise. That's been your Achilles heel for 10 years. So I hear you, Ethan. I hear your 11-year stuff. I hear y'all. But what I'm telling you is there's a guy that has been responsible for. Listen, your ESPN shell game has been cracked, and Coach Mack cracked it. We know what you're doing behind the scenes now. Now we can call you out for the ask you thing. We can show the world that your smoke and mirrors thing is superbly damaged. And again, the avalanche is coming. The cracking, it doesn't happen instantly. You see the ice, you see the glacier crack. You see it start to unfold.
It is an abrupt fall this year, but they're going to bounce back at some point. Like, meaning maybe not this year, but I mean, they're going to be good.
No, Brian, they're not going to bounce back to that.
But they're not going to be consistent top 5, top 10.
Right. They're not going to bounce back to the 10-year domination where they're
back to reality.
You're right. Where you got those dudes where you're like, what am I supposed to do with those guys? No, that was an era. And guess what? Your Louisville fan base survived a monster era of literally being a rival with the #1 recruiting university of the decade. And that's your #1. You literally have been playing over the course of the decade the top 7 college players every single year. Yes, you're going to have some losses.
So this is the first year in a while that
they only got 3 5
the
stars.
Cal to the NBA talk, and this is about the time that Cal starts to look for the exit door and say, it's been fun here at Kentucky, but I want to go test my talents in the NBA.
Yeah, listen. Texter said, it brings up the state schools. Again, I'm just trying to tell you people that what I feel like I'm doing. I feel like at some point, when you hear your child say I'm ugly or something like that, you got to snatch them You got to snatch them by the collar, hold them up by the back of their shirt, and you walk them right into the bathroom and look in that mirror. And in the sternest way, you say, "No, you are beautiful." And you own it. Like, you tell them all the good things you like. Golly, what if I told you all the accolades that I just named off? Academically, you're better. Title IX, you're better. Your Louisville research department is like groundbreaking on a national scale. Every aspect of your program. And here's the thing. Now, when you talk trash, but we only care about basketball, and our basketball's beating you, I say, that's all you got? When we're talking program, that's all you got? It's Coach Cal and our that's why we're better than you, because the only basketball matters. No.
Basketball is the only thing they have an argument in.
Yes, and it's a convenient argument that we only care about basketball when you're on your Cal run. But if I tell you that, dude, we dominate you in everything athletically and academically except for basketball.
Yeah.
Like,
they want to start saying football, but it's like, no, that's a recent thing. That's not a over history thing.
Yeah, listen, and here's the thing. Again, resources. That's all. With your SEC resources, that's all you can do. You should be stomping us, right? So even if we're equal, imagine how much better than you I have
supposed to be SEC.
Listen, imagine how much better than you I am if you have unlimited resources in your Nike world or your state resources with your Mr. Footballs and all that stuff. Imagine how much better than you I have to be for us to be tied. For us to just be tied. Now apply.
Down. And don't stress. Our non-commissioned experts are here to help